What's up, guys? Your boy OG Black. Um, I wanted to give you guys a real personal story. Um, one of the times that I was arrested and how I went to jail. Um, I've been in this business since I was a kid. So sometimes, a lot of times, I look myself in the mirror and I used to get really upset because I had got busted. Because um, you know, the way OG Black got busted this time was he's not for sure. It was a friend of the family or it was this other individual, but the place where OG Black got in trouble at, he was really familiar with that area. I was really familiar with everything that was going on. I knew the guy. I've known him for years. Excuse me. And so, you know, OG Black never really got his hands dirty in that situation in that life for a while. When I was younger, I really didn't have to get involved. I really stayed far away from that life. That's why I was so involved in my gang and doing other things. My padrino didn't ask too much of me. I just reaped the benefits of everything. I had a good time as a kid. I ran amok. I was in Tijuana. I was in Mexicali. I was in Michoacan. I was in Guamuchi. I was in Sinaloa. I was in Jalisco and having a good time, guys. Really enjoying, the fruits of the labors of my padrino, my dad, and my grandfather. Um, so this guy, what happened is that my family and my organization that I worked for was suffering, guys. It was hurting real bad, man. My padrino was getting hits left and right. Um, People were getting arrested. One guy ended up picking up some money and they never found him again. He ended up leaving. So we took a big hit. We were taking big hits. Just to give you an example of how things work. When a manager or a dope dealer or a guy in charge of your money in the United States or in charge of a shipment of your dope gets busted, say the minimum he's picking up is 50 kilos, whether it be cocaine, heroin, or weed, or whatever you're shipping out there, or meth, um, a kilo of meth can go for $2,000 to $1,500, in Tijuana. After they cross it, que la cruzan, there's a little more tax. But anyways, you could take 50 kilos, and you say 50 kilos, they sell them to you for, let's just say if they were selling to you by the key, you would pay like about 80 grand, 90 grand up front for them, okay? So you pay that 89 grand, 90 grand for them, okay? Boom, that's almost 100 grand right there. Next, the loss of that product, 100 grand. Another 20 to get the guy out of jail, so that's 120. Another 30 to keep him afloat for the next 4 or 5 months, 2 months, you know what I mean? Keep him afloat. Keep him out of the business, keep him out of everything, because the cops are going to be on him and you don't want him taking them anywhere and ruining anything else. It's a big loss, guys. A lot of people don't know about that. So the guy that I was dealing with, he was a friend of the family. We'd known him for a long time. So my padrino tells me, "Hey, mijo, can you do me a favor?" And I was like, "What's up, deal?" He goes, "Do me a favor, mijo." He goes, "Go pick up this money from this vato, from this raza." He says, "You know who he is. Go meet him somewhere nice and blah blah blah, and pick up the money." I'm like, "All right." So I go to the set location to go pick up the guy. I could say where it's at already because I already got in trouble for this. It was in Northern California. I was in Martinez in the Pittsburgh area. So I was picking up some money, and if anybody who knows anything about being up north over there by Vallejo, Oakland, all that area, there's a lot of orchards. There's a lot of fields for picking fruit and everything. So this guy we ended up meeting in the city part, kind of the city part, outskirts of the kind of the ranch areas. And then my padrino said, "Hey, he's from back home, so don't worry about him. He's a good guy." Long story short, I'm meeting this guy. He takes me to the rural part, and I'm following him everywhere. Everywhere. We end up getting out in the middle of the nowhere. Nowhere. There ain't no one out there. There's only cows and some trees, a little bit of trees, but all fields, empty fields everywhere, left to right. He gets out the car. He's sweating. He looks all nervous, and he hands me the packet of money. It's about this big. Um, it's wrapped, and the weird thing is, it's wrapped with saran wrap, and it's wrapped like with duct tape on top. So it's really wrapped, guys. And it's not duct tape; it's more of that black electrical tape. So I'm kind of freaking out. What the fuck is going on? I get the money. Um, it looks weird because you can see it has like a tail, where he used to have it stuck somewhere, so he had to pull it out. I didn't like that, so I cut that piece off and I threw it out the door. I told my uncle, "Oh man, I might have thought it was a GPS system or an antenna." I was freaking out. I ended up getting that money, right? And the money was wrapped in a weird way, and my padrino didn't want anybody to open the money or mess with it anymore, because the problems we were having was the guys that were giving money were saying that when they were giving it to me, that the guy, either I was taking some money out of it, or the guy that I was giving it to was taking some money out of it. So my padrino was like, "Look, I know how he packages it, so don't touch it no more. Just leave it alone and send it to me like that." And I said, "Okay, I'm not going to repackage it. I'm just going to send it to you like that." So, because before, what I used to do for my padrino, so you guys know, this is a little inside trick that I've taught a lot of people, is there's a thing called carbon paper, and it's black and it's dirty and it's nasty. You use it like when you want to make a copy, when they used to use it for copying credit cards back in the old days, when you put your credit card on the thing and slide it through and it would make a copy. Or when you use a signature to make a copy and it would trace the bottom of it and it comes out black. Well, that carbon paper, if you cover it, they can't see it through metal detectors and stuff. So when it would be crossing the border, the money, we would put the money, I'd cover the money in that, and then I would saran wrap it, and then we would zip it up, and So, this guy who was an employee of my padrino, or a good friend of the family's, ended up putting a locating device on it. And long story short, I took it home, and next thing you know, like about 3 hours later, I get raided. Bam! Dogs come into my apartment, everything. They go straight to the money. They know it's in the closet somewhere, so they go straight to the closet. Next thing you know, they start tearing everything out of the closet. I had the money hidden inside some shoe boxes. I had the money inside of a big of one of my wife's heels that was really big and long, so I had it hidden all inside her heel. You couldn't find it. Two or three bricks hidden inside each shoe. And they went with the dog, and the dog sniffed, and it was a currency sniffing dog. A lot of people are like, "What's that?" Well, it's not a drug dog, it's a currency sniffing dog. He smells money. So he's looking and he's watching, and so he sniffs it. He starts alerting where it's at. They get the money. They have me in my apartment. They ask my wife who it is. My wife says she has no idea what they're talking about. She don't even know what they're even speaking about. I walk in. I'm coming home from work, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on, OG Black?" I'm like, "What's going on, man?" They're like, "Hey, man, check it out. We just raided the house. We found this money. Whose is it?" And I said, "It's mine." Well, I'm not gonna say it's not mine and get my wife to get the blame for it. They want to know where it's from. They know damn well I have lawyers. At the end, guys, the guy that sold me out was my padrino's compadre. He ended up turning me into the cops. He ended up fleeing out of state. I never got the paperwork, but he ended up ratting on another member of our family. So I don't know if he set me up or who was the one that set me up, but I think he might have been the one that set me up. I don't have any paperwork. We don't have anything on that, but I do have some paperwork on the money issue, and where it talks about how he was an informant. I'm gonna put a post. I'm gonna put a post of the picture on Patreon. If it's not on Patreon, I'll show you guys the post on YouTube. I hope you guys have a good one and you guys enjoy this. I'm gonna put another one up for you guys. You guys deserve it. You guys are my Patreon people. Remember, guys, I don't get paid for this. I'm not monetized. I enjoy everything I do for you guys, and I thank you for rocking with me. And thank you for everything, guys. You guys are the best. You guys, catch you later.